America, we gotta get back to doing what's expected of us as free citizens in this democracy. That means being tolerant, being respectful, staying informed, and being engaged. I'm former Congressman Joe Walsh. Follow me here and join the millions of Americans who are renewing their social contract with each other. The social contract, it's on us. Hey, the resistance is alive and well. The day after, welcome everybody this Wednesday. Let's talk about the one thing, Election Day in America yesterday. Where to start? I want to make a few points. I want to give you a little bit of data, and then I want to scare you a little bit here at the end. But let's start here. The resistance to Trump is alive and well, and it's growing. The resistance to fascism is alive and well, and it's growing. The resistance to cruelty is alive and well, and it's growing. The resistance to golden bathrooms and golden ballrooms, it's alive and well, and it's growing. The resistance to a madman who has single-handedly fucked up the economy for working class, middle class Americans is alive and well. And it's growing. My first takeaway from election night last night, my first takeaway from an election day that was a total repudiation of Donald Trump. What happened yesterday, Joe? Trump. What's the biggest takeaway, Joe, from yesterday? Trump. What's the story of yesterday, Joe? Trump. How many times do we have to say it? And we can talk about Abigail Spanberger, and we should. And we can talk about Zoran Mamdani, and we should. And we should talk about Mikey Sherrill in New Jersey, and we should, and we will. And we can talk about, oh my God, two Democrats down in Georgia win statewide races, and we will. We can talk about the 3 Pennsylvania Supreme Court justices that held their seats, all Democrats, and we will. We can talk about Gavin Newsom in California redistricting, and we will. We can talk about all of that, but it needs to start here. It's Trump. It's Trump. Donald Trump is everything our founders feared. And people, Democrats and independents and conservatives, Americans went to the polls yesterday, man. They went to the polls yesterday because they were pissed off and scared to death because of what that thing our founders feared in the White House has been doing every single day for 10 months. And they came out and they voted. And it was an overwhelming repudiation of Trump. Democrats won overwhelmingly everywhere. I'll throw some interesting data at you today, but in the polling of voters who went to the polls yesterday and were dissatisfied with both parties, right? So Americans who went to vote in Virginia, New Jersey, Georgia, everywhere, and per the exit polls, they said they couldn't stand both parties. They were dissatisfied with both parties, and these people went and voted, and they voted overwhelmingly Democrat for the Democratic Party, like 3-1. These voters who are dissatisfied with both parties, they came out overwhelmingly for Democrats yesterday across the board, everywhere. Why? Trump. Trump. Because of, look, yesterday was a total repudiation of the corrupt, cruel, lawless fascist in the White House. Every day for 10 months, we've been bombarded with images of black and brown people being disappeared off of our streets every single day. Every single day, right? We're dealing with that madman and his mad, stupid, unconstitutional economic thing called tariffs, right? Killing job growth, raising prices on everything everywhere, devastating small businesses. The American people have been living with this every day. They took their frustrations out yesterday. Every day we're living with a president who seems way more preoccupied with his own parties, his own golden bathrooms, his own ballroom he wants to build, right? Enriching himself, right? To the tune of billions of dollars, while average, regular, working class Americans take it on the chin every single day economically. Every single day, American voters have been living with this, and they took it out on him yesterday. The resistance to Trump, proven yesterday, is alive and well, and it's growing. To his fascist activities, to his lawless activities, to his cruel, un-American, ugly activities, to his just completely disengaged, right? His personal corruption. It's the millions and millions and millions of people who've been marching in the No Kings rallies now a couple times this past year. I guess they make a difference. The resistance is alive and well. My first takeaway from yesterday. Yesterday was a total repudiation of Donald Trump. I need to say something here, though. This is an important point before I get into some of the particulars. Hakeem Jeffries came out last night and got a little angry. You can understand it. Got a little angry, Hakeem Jeffries did, at what he called the premature obituaries of the Democratic Party. Hakeem Jeffries said, the Democratic Party is not dead. The Democratic Party is back. That was Hakeem Jeffries, minority leader in the House of Representatives last night. Looking at what happened yesterday, overwhelming Democratic victories everywhere, Democrats winning everywhere. And Hakeem Jeffries said, the Democratic Party is back. No, this is not a takeaway. This should not be a takeaway. The takeaway from yesterday, from Mamdani's victory to Gavin Newsom's California redistricting victory out there, to again, in every single state, to New Jersey, Virginia, to 13 Virginia state House seats flipped from Republican to Democrat. Democratic victories all over the place. The takeaway of all of this, my friends, is not that, as Hakeem Jeffries said, the Democratic Party is back. Bullshit. No, the takeaway is that Democratic voters are pissed off. Independent voters are pissed off. The Democratic Party's not back. The Democratic Party still doesn't get it. Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, the Democratic Party establishment, man, they're not leading this parade. Democratic voters yesterday, pissed off voters yesterday. They're the ones leading this parade. The story of yesterday is the American people who are not part of MAGA, are really fucking pissed off. Democratic grassroots voters are pissed off. But here's the thing, Hakeem. They're pissed off at you almost as much as they're pissed off at Donald Trump. Democratic voters are pissed off at their own party for not getting it, for not meeting this moment, for not understanding this moment. I get why Hakeem felt like he had to say that, because the Democratic Party's been getting beaten up left and right for 10 months. I get that, but he's wrong. The Democratic Party, from the moment Trump was sworn in, the party establishment, the party leadership has not understood or met this moment. They've not understood and met and understood the threat that Trump is, the threat that Donald Trump is to everything we hold dear in this country. Democratic voters do get that and do understand the threat that Trump is, which is why they came out in droves yesterday, which is why they've come out in droves ever since Trump won in November. There wasn't enough discussion about that last night. Look, guys, yesterday, huge victory, right? Huge Democratic victory. Victories everywhere, but consistent with every special election we've had since Trump won last November. In every single special election in this country over the course of the past year, Democratic turnout has been through the roof. Democratic enthusiasm, pissed offness has been through the roof in every single special election. You remember that one in Wisconsin back in the spring, the state Supreme Court race? Elon Musk threw $1 gazillion behind the Republican Supreme Court justice candidate, and the Democratic Supreme Court justice candidate won like 10-1. The differential in the Democrats who came out to vote was like astronomical. It's been that way ever since Trump got elected. Democratic voters pissed off, scared to death. As I said yesterday, those of us who are pissed off and scared to death would crawl butt ass naked. We would crawl over broken glass for miles to vote right now. That's how pissed off we are. That's how scared we are. We'd get butt ass naked and we would crawl butt ass naked over broken glass, right, for miles to vote, just to vote. That's where the average Democratic voter, that's where the average resistor is right now. That's where the average pissed off independent is right now. That's who carried the day yesterday, Hakeem Jeffries, not the Democratic Party, not the Democratic Party establishment. Specifically, moderate Abigail Spanberger won by some 15 points in Virginia. Socialist Zoran Mamdani won by a whole bunch in New York City. Moderate Mikey Sherrill won by a lot, way more than people thought, 12 to 13 points in New Jersey in what was supposed to be a close election. For the first time in some 20 years, two Democrats won statewide elections for a statewide commission down in Georgia. Unheard of, two Democrats. Again, told you about the Pennsylvania Supreme Court held 3 Supreme Court justices, held all Democrats. Huge bellwether. And then in California, right, the redistricting plan, all about responding to what Texas did. That initiative won going away. A couple other data points I want to point out to you. Bucks County, Pennsylvania, suburban Philly. Democrats swept every school board seat yesterday in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, suburban Philly, Pennsylvania. Democratic school board candidates swept every seat. They now they now own the school board. All Democrats now. And this was the Bucks County School Board. This was the school board where just a few years ago, conservatives made Republicans made huge leaps because they were running against what they said all the LGBTQT politically correct stuff. And Republicans and conservatives actually gained a number of those school board seats in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, just a few years ago. Democrats swept every single one of those school board seats last night. Huge. I mentioned this to you again. In Virginia, 13 Republican state house seats flipped to Democrat. 13. Morgan County, Georgia. Morgan County, Georgia. A county that went for Republicans just last year by 47 points. Yesterday, Morgan County, Georgia went Democrat by 3, voted Democratic by 3. A 50-point swing in Morgan County, Georgia in just 1 year. This happened damn near everywhere yesterday. Get this. Follow me. I'll go slowly on this one. Every single county in Virginia and New Jersey. I'm going to say that again. Every single county, that means every one, in Virginia and New Jersey shifted blue in just a year. Did you follow me? States, within states, there are counties. Every single county in Virginia shifted blue from 2024 to 2025. In just 1 year, every single Virginia county, every single one shifted blue. And same story in New Jersey. Every single county in New Jersey moved blue. You'll find the same thing in every jurisdiction that had an election yesterday. This was a total repudiation of Donald Trump. A total repudiation of everything he's doing to just fuck with this country and fuck with what America is. And the funniest fucking thing is Republicans, not one Republican has blamed Trump. All the Republican conservative commentators, just weaklings like Scott Jennings and all the rest, none of them. Like, who's responsible for what? This is just so funny. Who's responsible for what happened yesterday more than anybody else? Donald Trump. Yet not one single Republican will blame Trump. They can't. They can't. They're too far up his colon to blame him. They can't. I heard some Democratic commentators say, watch now. You're going to see Republican candidates and Republican elected officials run away from Trump. Run away from Trump. Bullshit. Every single Republican alive is way too far up Donald Trump's colon to run anywhere. They're tied to him. They're inside of him. That ain't happening. They will sink with him. Final two thoughts on yesterday. There ain't going to be a blue wave in 2026. These 2025 elections often, right, augur well for what might happen in the midterms, and historically that generally holds, right? So a lot of people thinking there's going to be a blue wave in 2026. We got a blue wave coming in 2026. I'll tell you what, based on what happened yesterday, based on what happened in every single county that held an election in America yesterday. Damn it, every single county that held an election in America yesterday, in every single county, it all moved blue, it all shifted blue. There ain't a blue wave a coming in 2026. It's a freaking blue tsunami is coming in 2026. A freaking mammoth, once in a generation blue tsunami is coming in 2026. I can't say this enough. Where I started, the resistance to Trump, is alive and well. It's growing. We have only begun to feel the economic impact of his stupid, unconstitutional tariffs. We are only beginning to feel the economic impact of his cruel mass deportations. There's not a blue wave coming in 2026. It portends to be a blue tsunami, a once in a generation kind of a thing that comes along and just sweeps one party out of power. It has to be this way because of who and what Trump is. This is a visceral reaction. This is most Americans believing and feeling in their head and their heart that we got like a little bit of a window here to try to still save this country. And these Americans, again, are going to crawl butt-ass naked over broken glass to make sure we take advantage of this window. I've said from the beginning, haven't I? The one good thing about Donald Trump is because he's so bad and so corrupt and so cruel and so ignorant and so dishonest and so lawless, he's doing really bad, un-American, cruel things. He's doing them. The good thing is because he's doing them, he's forcing the American people in real time, you've heard me say this, to decide what kind of country we want to be. Trump is forcing us to decide in real time what kind of a country we want to be. And in every single election since he became president, just the latest yesterday, the American people are deciding we don't want to be the kind of country, we don't want to be Trump's America. We don't want to be this America. And that's a good thing. He's forcing us to decide because he's actually doing really bad, ugly, cruel, un-American, indecent stuff, lawless stuff. So it sucks that he's doing it, and it sucks that he's been doing these things, but he's been doing them. So now we got to decide, and we're deciding. So second to last takeaway of the day, there's going to be a blue tsunami in 2026. And Democrats are going to win in places Democrats never thought they could win in because of what Donald Trump and his party are doing. Final takeaway from last night, and it's a warning. There may be a blue tsunami in 2026, and last night was just an unbelievable night for Democrats all over the country. But make no mistake about it, Donald Trump is going to try to fuck with the midterms. Donald Trump and Republicans are going to try to cheat in the midterms. Donald Trump and the Republicans are going to try to stop people from voting, intimidate people from voting. Donald Trump and Republicans are going to put the military on our street and incite violence to create chaos and violence in this country so that Trump can invoke the Insurrection Act and actually try to postpone the midterms. Donald Trump's going to do, in the face of all of this, my friends, In the face of what happened last night, Abigail Spanberger, Mikey Sherrill, Zoran Mamdani, California redistricting, and everything in between, every single county in Virginia and New Jersey moving blue, Morgan County, Georgia, a 50-point swing to Democrats in 1 year. With all of this going on, even before yesterday, Trump was dead set on fucking with and cheating in the midterms. The only reason California did what it did yesterday is because Texas started it. Texas started it because of Trump. So yeah, celebrate and rejoice, my fellow resistors, with what happened yesterday. Believe fully that a blue tsunami is coming next year. But damn it, keep your foot on the gas pedal, and damn it, we've been forewarned. We're up against a lawless criminal in the White House who is going to do everything he can to cheat in and fuck with the 2026 midterms. He's put people in charge of elections in state after state after state who are election deniers, who've been given unilateral control over the elections in their states. Trump put an election denier in charge of election security at the Department of Homeland Security. He's going to do everything he can, Trump will, to mess with this blue tsunami that's a-coming. We have to acknowledge that, prepare for it, and overcome it. We have a fascist in the White House. We'll have to overcome that in 2026. So the resistance needs to continue to grow. Resistors, celebrate what happened yesterday, but keep your head down and stay at it. Don't be like Hakeem Jeffries, man. Don't you dare say the Democratic Party is back. Man, we're the ones leading the parade, right? We are going to drag the Democratic Party kicking and screaming to victory. Stay at it. Stay angry and pissed off at the Democratic Party establishment. Stay angry and pissed off at Congress. Stay angry and pissed off and scared to death of Donald Trump. Stay angry and pissed off at the Supreme Court and courts all over this land. Stay angry and pissed off, resolute and afraid. Because only if we stay that way will we have a chance to defeat that fascist in the White House in 2026. Pat yourselves on the back. You done good. We done good. Everybody done good. Thank you, everybody who voted yesterday. Do you know what? A hell of a lot more of us can vote. But thank you, everybody who voted yesterday. Take a day and celebrate. And then get back to work the following day. Because we got a year and we got a lot to do. Thank you for listening, everybody. Again, my Substack, socialcontractwithjoewalsh.substack.com, socialcontractwithjoewalsh.substack.com. Go there for everything, election analysis and everything. I put everything there. If you want to shoot me an email, do thesocialcontractwithjoewalsh@gmail.com. All one word. thesocialcontractwithjoewalsh@gmail.com. Blue tsunami, baby. Be brave. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been The Social Contract with Joe Walsh.